You are resting peacefully in bed, the room dark and quiet. Suddenly, in the middle of the night, you swing your legs to the floor. You expect them to carry you strong and steady like they always have. But instead, your knees buckle. You collapse to the ground with a thud, your muscles trembling with a weakness that seems to have appeared overnight. You lie there, heart pounding, fear rushing through your chest. You wonder, what just happened? Why did my body betray me so suddenly? This terrifying image is not fiction. It happens to countless seniors, often without warning. Many people assume these frightening events are simply part of getting older. But I can tell you, as a neurologist specializing in senior health, that they are not inevitable. They are preventable. And one of the most overlooked factors is what happens in your body at night while you sleep. Most people think of muscle loss, what doctors call sarcopenia, as something that creeps in slowly, year after year, and that is true to an extent. But what most seniors don't realize is that the pace of muscle decline can accelerate dramatically depending on what you give or fail to give your body before bed. Nighttime is when your muscles are supposed to repair themselves, knit together the tiny tears from daily activity, and build back strength. If they don't have the right nutrients available during those crucial hours, the body can't restore itself. And every morning you wake up just a little weaker than the day before. Let me tell you about Mr. Raymond, a 66-year-old retired carpenter. He came to me after experiencing repeated nighttime falls. He was healthy, or so he thought. He didn't smoke, he wasn't overweight, and he tried to walk every morning. But his legs felt weaker with each passing month. One evening he collapsed in the hallway trying to get to the bathroom. His wife found him on the floor, unable to stand on his own. When I examined his case, the shocking truth emerged. He wasn't deficient in calories, but in a key nutrient that the body especially needs before bedtime to maintain muscle repair. His daytime diet wasn't enough to protect his muscles overnight. Within weeks of adjusting his bedtime nutrition, his nighttime cramps disappeared and his morning strength improved. So, what was missing? Before we get into specifics, you need to understand why this time of day, bedtime, is so critical. After the age of 60, muscle fibers shrink naturally. The body loses fast twitch fibers that give us power and balance. Hormones that drive repair like growth hormone and testosterone are already reduced. Blood flow slows and nerves conduct signals more sluggishly. This is the mainstream medical truth of aging. The body repairs itself more slowly, especially at night. But here's the part that most seniors never hear. If you go to bed without supplying the nutrients your muscles need, you are leaving them defenseless. Instead of repairing, they continue to break down while you sleep. Think of your muscles like a construction site. During the day, you stress and strain them with movement, walking, climbing stairs, even standing up from a chair. At night, the workers are supposed to come in to repair the damage and rebuild. But imagine if those workers arrived at the site with no bricks, no cement, no tools. They would stand around helpless, watching the damage accumulate. That is exactly what happens to your muscles if you go to bed without the right nutritional support. The result: each morning you wake up weaker, stiffer, and more prone to falls. And here's the frightening truth. It doesn't take years for this decline to show. It can happen in a matter of weeks. Seniors who skip bedtime nutrients often report worsening cramps, twitching, or heaviness in their legs in just a short time. Over months, this leads to sarcopenia, measurable loss of muscle mass, and with it a greater risk of falls, fractures, hospital stays, and loss of independence. The good news is, this bedtime nutrients are not exotic, expensive, or out of reach. They are simple, accessible, and incredibly effective when timed correctly. But timing is everything. Take the right nutrient at the wrong time and you lose much of the benefit. Take it at night and your body uses it to repair and fortify muscle while you sleep. That difference can determine whether you wake up strong enough to carry on with your day or too weak to trust your own legs. So, let me ask you, when was the last time you thought about what you ate or drank before bed? Was it a glass of milk? Was it nothing at all because you thought eating late was bad? Or was it a sugary snack that satisfied your craving but left your muscles starving? These small choices matter more than you can imagine. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. Tonight, I'm going to walk you through 9 critical bedtime nutrients and habits that can either protect your muscles or quietly steal your strength while you sleep. And the first hidden danger may surprise you because it's not what you expect. It's not sugar, not alcohol, not even lack of exercise. It's something so ordinary that most seniors never give it a second thought. And yet missing it could be the reason your muscles are failing faster than they should. Muscle loss after 60 is not simply about getting older, it is a biological process with very specific causes. Doctors call it sarcopenia, a gradual loss of muscle mass and strength that begins as early as your 40s but accelerates sharply in your 60s and beyond. By the time you reach 70, you may have already lost up to 25% of your muscle tissue compared to your younger years. That's why tasks that once seemed effortless, carrying groceries, climbing stairs, or even standing up from a chair, begin to feel harder. The mainstream medical explanation is straightforward: as we age, hormones like growth hormone and testosterone decrease. Protein synthesis slows, which means your body is less efficient at repairing muscle tissue. Nerve connections that stimulate your muscles weaken, and blood circulation delivers nutrients more sluggishly. Put simply, the repair team inside your body is working with fewer tools, less energy, and slower communication. But here's the deeper, lesser-known truth. The timing of nutrition directly controls how severe this decline becomes. Most seniors focus on breakfast and lunch but neglect what happens before bedtime. That's a mistake. During deep sleep, your body releases its strongest pulse of growth hormone, the very hormone that tells your muscles to repair and rebuild. If your body lacks the building blocks at that exact moment, the repair process is incomplete. Over time, this nightly gap compounds into noticeable weakness. Let me share the story of Mrs. Chen, a 72-year-old grandmother. She loved gardening, but one day she found herself unable to lift her watering can. Her family thought it was just age catching up, but when she came to me, I discovered that her evening routine was leaving her muscles starving. She often skipped dinner or ate only a small bowl of rice, believing lighter meals at night were healthier. Over months, her body slowly cannibalized its own muscle tissue to stay alive during long nights of fasting. When we adjusted her nutrition, adding a small protein-rich snack before bedtime, her strength began to return. Within 3 months, she could lift her watering can again without fear of dropping it. This is why sarcopenia is not just a number on a medical chart. It is lived in real lives in the quiet frustrations seniors face every day. When you notice your arms feel weaker as you open a jar, or your legs feel heavier when you climb stairs, it is not just aging, it is your body signaling that it is not repairing itself fully at night. So let me ask you, if your body is already losing muscle faster after 60, why would you allow your nightly repair process to run on empty? Would you leave a broken roof unattended during a storm? Of course not. Yet many seniors go to bed with their muscles unprotected, unaware of the silent damage being done. And if you think this sounds concerning, wait until you learn about one particular mineral that most seniors are missing. One that holds the key to repairing muscle while you sleep, and without it, even the strongest repair signals in your body cannot do their job. Magnesium is often called the relaxation mineral, but for seniors over 60, it is far more than that. It is one of the body's most critical nutrients for muscle repair and recovery during sleep. Without it, the cycle of nightly muscle restoration falters, leading to cramps, spasms, and a gradual weakening that many dismiss as just aging. Mainstream medicine recognizes magnesium as an essential mineral that regulates nerve impulses and muscle contractions. Your muscles rely on calcium to contract and on magnesium to relax. Without enough magnesium, muscles cannot release properly after contracting, leading to the painful nighttime cramps so many seniors describe. More importantly, magnesium is a cofactor in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, including protein synthesis, the very process by which your muscles rebuild themselves. Here's the lesser-known truth. Magnesium levels naturally decline with age, partly because older adults absorb less of it from food, and partly because many common medications, like diuretics for high blood pressure, flush magnesium out of the body. Combine that with diets low in leafy greens, nuts, and seeds, and it is no wonder that nearly half of seniors are deficient. And the hours when this deficiency hurts most. The nighttime, when your body is supposed to enter repair mode. Let me introduce you to Mr. Alvarez, a 69-year-old retired bus driver. He came to me after experiencing nightly leg cramps so severe they jolted him awake. His wife recalled how he would leap out of bed clutching his calf, unable to stretch the pain away. He assumed it was just old age catching up. But after blood work, we discovered his magnesium levels were far below normal. Worse, he often skipped dinner and preferred tea before bed, which only worsened his depletion. Once we introduced a magnesium-rich evening snack like a small handful of almonds and a banana, and considered a gentle supplement, his cramps eased within 2 weeks. After 3 months, he reported sleeping through the night for the first time in years, and his daytime strength improved noticeably. Think about what this means. Each cramp he felt was not just pain, It was a warning sign of his muscles failing to reset and repair. Every restless night deprived his body of the very recovery window it needed to preserve his strength. Left untreated, that kind of chronic disruption accelerates sarcopenia and raises the risk of falls fractures and hospitalizations. Now consider this: magnesium also calms the nervous system, lowering cortisol, the stress hormone. Seniors with low magnesium often feel restless, anxious, or unable to fall into deep sleep. That restless sleep further robs the muscles of their opportunity to rebuild. It's a vicious cycle. Low magnesium causes poor sleep worsens, muscle decline, and weaker muscles increase the risk of falls. So let me ask you, do you ever wake up with your legs aching, your body feeling heavy, or your sleep interrupted by cramps? If so, it may not be age at all, it may be your body begging for magnesium. And if you thought magnesium was the missing piece, wait until you hear about the role of protein timing before sleep. Because even with enough minerals, your muscles cannot rebuild themselves without this critical building block in place at the exact right hour. When most people think of protein, they picture chicken, fish, or eggs on their dinner plate. But here's what few seniors realize: it's not just what protein you eat, it's when you eat it that decides whether your muscles repair overnight or continue to waste away. For adults over 60, timing protein intake before bed can mean the difference between waking up stronger or weaker. Mainstream medical research confirms that protein is the primary building block of muscle. Every muscle fiber depends on amino acids, the components of protein, to rebuild after daily wear and tear. Younger adults can get away with eating protein at any time of day because their bodies are highly efficient at using it. But as you age, that efficiency declines. The scientific term is anabolic resistance. Your muscles need more protein delivered at the right time to trigger repair. Here's the lesser-known fact: the body's peak repair window happens at night during deep sleep when growth hormone surges. If your body lacks a supply of amino acids at that time, the signal to build muscle goes unheard. Instead, your body may break down muscle to fuel itself through the night. That's why seniors who eat a protein-rich snack at bedtime preserve more muscle than those who don't. Slow-digesting proteins like casein found in cottage cheese or Greek yogurt are particularly powerful because they drip-feed amino acids into the bloodstream for hours, exactly when your body needs them most. Let me share the story of Mrs. Patel, a 74-year-old retired teacher. She was active, walking daily, but she complained of waking up exhausted with her legs feeling like lead. Her children thought she wasn't eating enough during the day, but her food diary told a different story. Breakfast was toast and tea, lunch was rice with vegetables, dinner, usually at 6 p.m., was a modest meal of soup. After that, she ate nothing until the next morning. By the time she went to bed, her muscles had no amino acids left to repair themselves. For nearly 12 hours, her body was running on empty. Her muscles grew weaker with each passing month. We introduced a simple change: a small bowl of Greek yogurt with chia seeds 1 hour before bed. Within weeks, she felt her energy return. She told me, "Doctor, I feel like my legs are mine again. I can get up without gripping the chair." Her story highlights an essential truth: the muscles of seniors cannot wait until morning for nutrition. They need it at night while the body repairs. Now think of your own habits. Do you eat dinner early, then go to bed without so much as a sip of milk? Do you fear that eating before bed will harm your health? Many seniors avoid nighttime snacks because they think it will cause weight gain. But here's the twist: a well-chosen protein-rich bedtime snack can actually protect your body, helping preserve lean muscle, stabilize blood sugar, and even improve sleep. So, let me ask you, why would you allow your body's most powerful repair window to pass by empty? Would you build a house without bricks? Of course not. Then why let your muscles repair without protein? And if you thought protein timing was surprising, wait until you hear about vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin that doesn't just protect your bones, but plays a hidden role in overnight muscle recovery. And when seniors lack it, the results can be devastating. Vitamin D is often celebrated for its role in protecting bones, but its importance for muscle health, especially at night, is frequently overlooked. For seniors over 60, low vitamin D levels can quietly strip away strength, making the body frail and vulnerable to sudden collapse. The mainstream medical fact is this: vitamin D helps the body absorb calcium and supports bone density, reducing fracture risk. But scientists have also discovered that vitamin D acts directly on muscle fibers, influencing how they contract and regenerate. Without enough of it, muscles weaken, balance deteriorates, and falls become more likely. That's why vitamin D deficiency is a hidden driver of sarcopenia. Here's the lesser-known truth: vitamin D follows a daily rhythm in the body, interacting with hormones that peak at night. Seniors who are deficient not only weaken their muscles, but also disrupt the very nighttime repair cycle that should keep them strong. And because many older adults avoid the sun out of fear of skin cancer or because of limited mobility, the deficiency is often severe. Worse, the kidney's ability to convert vitamin D into its active form declines with age, leaving muscles even more deprived. Let me tell you about Mrs. Green, a 78-year-old widow who loved knitting. Over time, she noticed her grip growing weaker. Her daughter became alarmed when she dropped a teacup because her hand could not hold it steady. By the time she came to me, her walking had also slowed. She rarely went outside, fearing the sun's rays would harm her skin. Her blood test revealed critically low vitamin D levels. I explained that her muscles were essentially trying to repair themselves in the dark without the signal vitamin D provides. Once we introduced safe supplementation and encouraged her to sit by the window for morning light, the changes were striking. Within months, she walked with greater stability and no longer complained of her trembling hands. Now imagine how many seniors never realize that their weakness is tied to something as simple and correctable as a lack of vitamin D. They blame age when in reality their bodies are crying out for support. Nighttime is when this deficiency strikes hardest because vitamin D receptors in the muscle remain underactivated, leaving the repair process incomplete. So let me ask you, do you avoid the sun? Do you find yourself feeling weaker, stiffer, or more fatigued in the mornings? It may not just be poor sleep. It may be that your muscles are missing the silent power of vitamin D. And if you thought vitamin D deficiency was shocking, wait until you hear about the protective power of omega-3 fats. These healthy oils don't just support the heart, they soothe inflammation in muscles while you sleep, ensuring your body wakes up stronger than the day before. When you think of omega-3 fats, you probably imagine heart health or brain function, and that's true. These essential fats are celebrated for protecting arteries and memory. But what few seniors realize is that omega-3s also play a decisive role in preserving muscle strength at night. Without them, inflammation quietly eats away at muscle fibers while you sleep, leaving you weaker each morning. The mainstream medical fact is clear: omega-3 fatty acids, especially EPA and DHA, found in fatty fish like salmon, are powerful anti-inflammatories. They lower the chronic, low-grade inflammation that builds up in aging bodies, a process doctors call inflammaging. This inflammation doesn't just damage joints or arteries, it seeps into muscles, disrupting their ability to repair and grow. Here's the lesser-known truth. Omega-3s integrate into the membranes of muscle cells, making them more responsive to anabolic signals like insulin and amino acids. This means that when you provide your body with protein at bedtime, omega-3s actually help the muscles use that protein more efficiently. Seniors who consume omega-3s regularly have been shown to gain more muscle from the same diet and exercise compared to those who don't. In other words, these fats act like a multiplier for your nightly repair process. Take the case of Mr. Sato, a 71-year-old retired factory worker. He had been struggling with morning stiffness and weakness in his thighs. Every night he went to bed after a simple meal of rice and vegetables, often avoiding fish because he found it too heavy. Over the years, his muscle strength dwindled and his morning walks shortened. When I suggested introducing omega-3s through sardines and a fish oil supplement, his transformation was remarkable. Within 6 weeks, he reported less stiffness in the mornings. After 3 months, his legs felt strong enough to take longer walks again. His wife noticed he no longer groaned when standing from a chair. This story illustrates the silent war inside aging muscles. Without omega-3s, inflammation becomes the default, eating away at your strength every night. With omega-3s, that inflammation is calmed and the body can focus on building, not breaking down. Think of it like this. Imagine a construction site again, but this time it's under attack. Workers are ready to repair, but vandals keep tearing down what's being built. Omega-3s are like the security guards who chase away the vandals, allowing the workers to finish their job. Without them, the repair is undone before it even starts. Now here's a question. How often do you eat fish? Once a week, once a month, or not at all? If you're like many seniors, your intake may be too low to provide this nightly protection. And supplements can help, but they must be consistent to truly change the balance inside your muscles. So as you think about your bedtime habits, remember this. Protein provides the bricks, but omega-3s protect the construction site. And together they keep your muscles standing strong against time. And if you found omega-3s surprising, the next nutrient will open your eyes even wider. Because while fats and proteins are crucial, your muscles also rely on an old familiar mineral, calcium, not just for bones, but for the very electrical signals that tell your muscles when to move. And when those signals fail at night, the results can be devastating. When you hear the word calcium, you probably think of bones. Doctors have long promoted calcium for keeping bones dense and reducing the risk of fractures. But here's what most seniors don't realize: calcium is also the key messenger that tells your muscles when to contract and when to relax. Without it, the electrical signals between nerves and muscles misfire, especially at night, leading to weakness, cramps, and in severe cases, sudden collapses. The mainstream medical fact is this: calcium ions flood into muscle fibers when the brain sends a signal triggering contraction. When the signal stops, calcium is pumped back out, allowing relaxation. It's an elegant on-off switch. But with age, calcium regulation becomes less efficient. Seniors often consume less calcium, absorb less from the gut, and lose more through the kidneys. Add common medications like antacids or corticosteroids and deficiency becomes even more likely. The lesser-known truth is that calcium doesn't act alone. At night, calcium works hand-in-hand with magnesium and vitamin D to ensure muscles respond properly. If calcium is low, nerve impulses become erratic. Seniors may wake up with restless legs, twitching, or unexplained nighttime cramps. Worse, poor calcium signaling can delay reaction times, making a stumble in the dark far more dangerous. Consider the case of Mr. Johnson, a 73-year-old retired electrician. He had always been careful about his health, but recently he began experiencing sudden nighttime weakness. One frightening night, he tried to rise from bed and his legs gave out beneath him. His wife rushed him to the hospital fearing a stroke. Tests showed no brain damage but revealed low calcium levels combined with long-term use of acid-reducing medication. His muscles weren't receiving the electrical spark they needed. With dietary adjustments, adding low-fat dairy, leafy greens, and supervised supplementation, his nighttime weakness eased and he regained confidence in moving safely around his home. Think about what that means. Every step you take, every time you stand from a chair, depends on calcium signals firing correctly. If they falter, your body may feel heavy, unsteady, or unreliable. It's not just about bones, it's about whether your muscles can even respond when you need them most. So let me ask you, have you ever felt your legs hesitate as though your brain told them to move, but they responded slowly? Have you dismissed it as just getting older? That hesitation may be your body warning you of faltering calcium balance. And if calcium caught you off guard, wait until you hear about the power of B vitamins. These humble nutrients fuel the very energy factories inside your muscle cells. Without them, even strong muscles are left without power, like a car with no gas in the tank. B vitamins rarely get the spotlight when it comes to muscle health, but without them, your body's energy factories grind to a halt. These vitamins, especially B6, B12, niacin, and folate, act as coenzymes that help your cells convert food into usable energy. For seniors, over 60 deficiencies are shockingly common and often ignored, yet they directly accelerate muscle decline during the night. The mainstream medical fact is this: B vitamins are essential for red blood cell production and for maintaining the nervous system. Without enough B12, for example, nerves misfire and muscles fail to respond properly. Without folate, your cells struggle to divide and repair. And without B6 and niacin energy, metabolism slows, leaving muscles starved of fuel. These deficiencies translate into fatigue, weakness, and poor balance, all of which worsen overnight when your body depends on smooth energy production for repair. The lesser-known truth is that aging itself disrupts B vitamin absorption. The stomach produces less acid, making it harder to extract B12 from food. Many seniors also take medications like proton pump inhibitors or metformin, which deplete B vitamins even further. At night, when muscles should be recharging, this shortage leaves them stranded, unable to restore glycogen, rebuild fibers, or reset nerve communication. The result: seniors wake feeling heavier, stiffer, and more drained than when they went to bed. Take the story of Mrs. Lopez, a 76-year-old widow who had lost her husband 5 years earlier. She began skipping meals, eating only toast and tea for dinner, and sometimes nothing before bed. Over time, her legs weakened so much that she avoided leaving the house. She described mornings as climbing out of quicksand. When we tested her, her B12 and folate levels were critically low. I encouraged her to add a small bedtime snack rich in B vitamins, fortified cereal with milk, or an egg with whole grain toast along with supervised supplementation. Within weeks, her energy began to return. 3 months later, she proudly told me she could walk to her local market again without stopping to rest. Her case reminds us that energy is not just about feeling alert. It's about whether your muscles have the power to function. Without B vitamins, even strong muscle fibers cannot fire because the cellular engines have no spark plugs. Imagine trying to start a car with a dead battery. That is what your body experiences every night without B vitamins fueling its repair. Now ask yourself, do you often feel exhausted in the mornings, despite going to bed early? Do your muscles feel powerless, as if the strength is there but the energy is not? These could be silent signs of B vitamin depletion. And if you thought energy vitamins were crucial, wait until you learn about zinc, the mineral that quietly supports hormone production and immune health. At night, zinc helps regulate testosterone and growth hormone, the very signals your body needs to preserve muscle mass. Without it, even the strongest bedtime habits may fail to protect your strength. Zinc is often associated with immune health and wound healing, but for seniors over 60, its role in muscle preservation is just as critical. Without zinc, the hormonal signals that protect muscle mass weaken dramatically. At night, when your body is supposed to release growth hormone and testosterone to stimulate repair, zinc deficiency quietly silences that signal, leaving muscles to waste away. The mainstream medical fact is clear: zinc is essential for the production of testosterone and other anabolic hormones. It also plays a role in cell division and protein synthesis, both vital for repairing muscle fibers. As zinc levels fall, so does hormone activity, leading to accelerated sarcopenia, poor wound healing, and greater frailty. The lesser-known truth is that seniors are at especially high risk for zinc deficiency. Taste buds dull with age, making zinc-rich foods like oysters, beef, and pumpkin seeds less appealing. Many seniors also rely heavily on cereals, bread, and processed foods, diets that are naturally low in zinc. Worse, certain medications such as diuretics increase zinc loss through urine. Combine these factors, and it's no surprise that low zinc levels are common among older adults. Let me tell you about Mr. Kim, a 68-year-old former tailor. He came to me complaining of constant fatigue and loss of muscle tone. His wife noticed he no longer had the strength to carry groceries upstairs. Blood tests revealed low testosterone, but the deeper cause was zinc deficiency. He rarely ate meat, preferring rice and vegetables, and he took medication for high blood pressure that further depleted zinc. With dietary changes, adding pumpkin seeds, eggs, and lean beef, his levels began to improve. Within months, his energy returned, and he regained enough strength to resume daily walks with his grandson. This story underscores the silent power of zinc. It doesn't just build muscle directly, it enables the hormones that tell your muscles to grow and repair. Without zinc, even a protein-rich diet cannot trigger proper repair signals. It's like having a full tank of gas but no ignition key. The car cannot start and the journey never begins. So let me ask you, do you often feel weaker despite eating well? Do you notice cuts healing slowly or a reduced appetite? These could be signs of zinc depletion silently undermining your strength. And here's the most important point. Zinc works in harmony with all the other nutrients we've discussed: magnesium, protein, vitamin D, omega-3s, calcium, and B vitamins. Together, they form the nightly orchestra that protects your muscles from decline. But to tie everything together, we must now reflect on the bigger picture: how aging changes the rules of nutrition, and how you can create safe bedtime habits that restore strength instead of stealing it. As we reach the end of this journey through the hidden world of bedtime nutrition, I want you to pause and reflect on what we've uncovered. Aging is inevitable, but the speed at which your muscles decline is not. Every nutrient we've discussed — magnesium, protein, vitamin D, omega-3s, calcium, B vitamins, and zinc — plays a silent yet powerful role in determining whether you wake up each day stronger or weaker. Nighttime is the battlefield, and what you give your body before sleep decides the outcome. The mainstream truth is simple. After age 60, your body naturally loses muscle, a condition called sarcopenia. Hormones decline, protein synthesis slows, and nerves and blood vessels function less efficiently. Left unchecked, this process leads to weakness, frailty, falls, and loss of independence. But the deeper truth is empowering. With the right bedtime nutrients, you can slow, even reverse, much of this decline. I think back to the stories of Mr. Raymond, Mrs. Chen, Mr. Alvarez, Mrs. Patel, Mrs. Green, Mr. Sato, Mr. Johnson, Mrs. Lopez, and Mr. Kim. Each of them believed at first that weakness was just part of aging. Each of them felt fear, frustration, or embarrassment when their bodies failed them. And yet, with small, deliberate changes, whether a magnesium snack, protein before bed, a vitamin D boost, omega-3 rich fish, calcium balance, B vitamins, or zinc-rich foods, their nights became more restorative, their mornings more hopeful. Their lives remind us that muscle decline is not destiny. It is a challenge you can meet with knowledge and action. So what can you do starting tonight? Let me offer a few safe, practical guidelines. Add slow-digesting protein before bed. A small serving of Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or a boiled egg provides amino acids all night long. Check your magnesium intake. Almond, spinach, or a supplement under a doctor's guidance can stop nighttime cramps. Don't forget vitamin D. If you can't get daily sun, consider safe supplementation. Your muscles need it as much as your bones. Incorporate omega-3s. 2 to 3 servings of fatty fish per week or fish oil supplements can calm inflammation and improve repair. Balance calcium wisely. Choose leafy greens, dairy, or fortified foods, but pair them with magnesium and vitamin D for best absorption. Support energy with B vitamins. Whole grains, eggs, and legumes provide the spark plugs your muscles need. Strengthen your repair signals with zinc. Pumpkin seeds, lean meats, or beans can restore hormonal support for muscle growth. Equally important is timing. These nutrients should be taken in the evening, ideally 1 to 2 hours before bed, when your body is preparing for deep sleep. Pairing foods, for example protein with healthy fats, can extend the supply of nutrients into the night, ensuring your muscles never run empty during their repair window. I know change can feel daunting, but you don't need to overhaul your entire diet. Start with one small step. Add a magnesium-rich snack or a protein serving before bed. Pay attention to how your body feels in the morning. Do your legs feel steadier? Do your hands grip more firmly? Do you rise with more energy? These small signals are proof that your body is responding. And remember, this knowledge is your greatest ally. Aging does not mean surrendering to weakness. It means adapting wisely to the body's changing needs. With each mindful choice, you reclaim control over your strength, your independence, and your future. Before we close, let me leave you with this thought. Every night is an opportunity. Each evening, you can either let your muscles starve and weaken, or you can feed them the exact nutrients they need to stay strong. The choice is yours. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means so much to us. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss another tip made just for you. You have the power to protect your muscles. Tonight, choose strength.